Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. The crypto market continues to range sideways, but there's broad expectations from many chart analysts that we're finally going to get to see some market relief and that we're being set up for a next major impulse for XRP specifically. In fact, I've got perspective from, I believe, 8 different XRP chart analysts in this latest Moon Lambo hot jam, and you will see that the optimism is still here, and for good reason. This market cycle, it's just not over. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. As I record this video, it is 9:14 p.m. Central Time, Monday, March 31st, 2025. So even though it's still March as I record this, for the chart guys out there, the month has closed. The quarter has closed, in fact, and I think that happens at either like 6 or 7 p.m. Central Time anyway. So the reason I mention that is just to note XRP closed out the month and the quarter above $2, which is a level that a lot of chart analysts were hoping we'd be above. Good signs here. XRP currently at $2.09, Bitcoin at 82,796 bucks. As I flash back and forth between the 24-hour XRP and Bitcoin charts, you can see that they're very similar. Look at when the movements happen. It's the same time. The market's just moving in tandem. So to be clear, if you are one of the people out there who's worried about XRP and thinks there might be something specifically bad about it, and that's why price has been doing what it's doing, just know that is not true. The asset class absolutely moves in tandem, and XRP is still. I mean, once the euphoria comes back in markets, XRP is just going to keep ripping to the upside because it's been artificially suppressed for years by the United States government via the SEC, but that's all over now. It's done. The market is making up for lost ground and lost time. Here's a post from chart analyst Jelly. You got 2020 on the left and 2025 on the right. And he said, and this is Bitcoin, says, so far playing out exactly like 2020. We got the pullback. Now form a couple higher lows and we can get this show on the road. And I keep seeing tons of posts from a lot of different analysts pointing this out. What we're going through right now, it may feel emotionally difficult for all sorts of people. It's the same thing we went through years ago, just at a different price level. And it is funny to look back at these prices. I mean, so you can see formation-wise why he's highlighting this. But look at it, look at the prices in 2020. People were freaking out, and Bitcoin was between what, like 9,500 or so to closer to $12,000. Wouldn't you love that now? Well, people are going to be saying that about this range that we're in right now. Just go out another 5-10 years. People will wish they had the opportunity that you had right now. It's just, I'm telling you, like, there's never been an opportunity to achieve life-changing wealth to this degree in the history of our species. You're living through the glory days right now, even if it doesn't feel like that. That's what this is. Here's a post from chart analyst Mustache. He also believes that we're about to see some major moves to the upside. Here you've got Bitcoin on the left from 2024, and on the right you've got the crypto total market cap, and he's just noting that a falling wedge pattern is playing out. And so he wrote Bitcoin versus total market cap. Looks like we're going to get a good pump in April 2025, finally. And so, folks, we're not just going to range here forever. You come up with your own perspective about what you think is most likely. Is it all over and we're going to go into a bear market for a few years, or are we going to have a final blow off top? And nobody knows for sure, including me. I'm betting that we go to the upside because historically that's what's happened every freaking time, and I don't think this will be the first time in history that we don't see something like that, which means XRP also is not done, in my humble opinion. Here's a post from chart analyst Mikey Bull Crypto, and I just found this fascinating. Although to me, like, this is just another indication we're not done here. But this is the Bitcoin versus altcoins market cap, and he wrote here that this is the biggest gap between Bitcoin and the altcoin market cap in history. That's fascinating. I'm thinking that's going to close because Bitcoin dominance is going to come down and altcoin dominance is going to increase. Do you think the market cycle ends with this big ass gap in here? Because I sure as hell don't. Not at all. We just haven't seen the rotation into the altcoins yet. But historically, that is what happens. I think it's coming. We're just fortunate in the XRP community that our coin has been outperforming the market. So I think most of us here in the community, like, we're feeling pretty damn good. The rest of the market's feeling way more beat up. But you can tell in sentiment, which is frankly what you want to see, that people are just, their emotions are in the gutter. Like, here's a popular influencer I'm not familiar with, but he's 677,000 followers on X, called That Martini Guy. Simply wrote, "Just admit it, the bull run is over." And I won't admit that because I don't believe that. And if I'm wrong, so be it. Life goes on. I don't think that's that's the case. And Crypto Michael, chart analyst here, he reposted that and simply wrote, "Bottom signals everywhere." And I'm just sitting there nodding my head like, yup, that is exactly correct. You can be a negative Nancy all you want here, but that's what we expect. That's a good bottom signal before we move back to the upside. And then he's going to have to delete his post probably. It's going to age like a fine milk. But Crypto Michael, he's one of the analysts, by the way, who accurately called XRP breaking to the upside. Here's a post from the blockchain backer sharing his most recent video this morning, and you should check out his video. It was an excellent one, which, I mean, that's par for the course. They're always excellent. But he was noting just a couple key takeaways. He was noting that, the trend that we're seeing in markets, it's still intact. Nothing is ruined, including for XRP specifically. And if you want the technical analysis reasons why, what his justifications are, just go check out his video. I don't want to regurgitate a bunch of TA, but that's the sentiment. And he thinks that the top is in for large cap stocks, but, he still expects rotation into small cap stocks, Russell 2000, and expects the rotation into altcoins is going to occur at the same time because that would make sense. And historically, that makes sense also, by the way. But he doesn't find it likely that XRP price is going to go much lower from here, if at all. And he talked about a key level of $1.89 in his video, but many reasons to be positive, and he still believes that, yes, we're going to have that final rip to the upside in all probability. And so just highlighting the analysts, like the blockchain backer, who accurately called XRP this cycle hitting a new all-time high, they still believe, all of the ones that I follow, still believe XRP is going to enter price discovery. That's what they favor. Hasn't changed for a single one that I can think of off the top of my head. Here's a post from chart analyst Credible Crypto. This is the entire crypto asset class on your screen, the total market cap. He says, total market cap chart looks pretty damn good. Would imply some significant relief across the board soon. Seeing this trend, folks? I keep seeing this from all of the good analysts out there like, yeah, probably going to see a bounce to the upside. And then when they talk about XRP specifically, I think even that's probably setting up for it, even if you have to wait a little bit longer. Here's a post, and I've shared this one before, I'm not going to reread it. I just wanted to note before we get into Credible Crypto's most recent post about XRP that he has been warning, frankly, for probably at least a couple weeks or so at this point. XRP, there's a reasonable chance it gets down to maybe even as low as like $1.60 or so before rebounding and heading back to the upside, finally hitting a new all-time high. But he does believe we're going to be entering price discovery this cycle, and he thinks that XRP is going to top probably somewhere between $20 to $30. That's his public prediction. Now here's his most recent post, though, just from this evening, 5:48 p.m. Central Time. And he said, after nailing the 250+% rally on XRP ETH, my last update stated, quote, since we are now at range highs after a pretty massive move, it's possible we get a pullback soon. If we do, nothing to be concerned about, end quote. We have since printed multiple weekly bearish divergences on the pairing, and with XRP USD still likely to tag range lows at $1.60 to $1.80, while Ethereum sits in massive higher time frame demand. Think we have a bit lower to go on the pairing to complete the correction before continued upside. The chart on your screen here shows the expected path for now. So he does still think down. But there's definitely hope. He wrote, in other words, expect Ethereum to begin to outperform against XRP in the immediate short/midterm, while XRP consolidates/corrects before its next major impulse to the upside. So the next major impulse to the upside, he still firmly insists it is going to come. And it starts to feel impossible the more time passes, but then it just happens. Like, remember how impossible it felt a year ago for XRP, to some people anyway, for XRP to finally rocket and have an impulse? Well, it had it, didn't it? It sure as hell did. From 49 cents or so before the election to a new high of like about $3.39. Just consolidating now safely above $2. Like, that's pretty badass. Like, I am absolutely thrilled to be seeing that. I just don't think that we're done here. And by the way, as far as Ethereum in the short term outperforming XRP, I've actually been talking about that in recent months. because there's historic precedent for that. It wouldn't surprise me in the least, especially given that XRP's been consolidating now. But by the end of the cycle, you'll see that XRP substantially outperformed Ethereum, like it already has been. It ain't done. It's going to get worse comparatively for Ethereum, even though I do think Ethereum's going to rip to the upside ultimately. Then we also had this from chart analyst E. Greg Crypto. XRP monthly time frame says 16 hours left to keep this monthly candle's body above $2. And of course, that has now happened. So, yay, closed above $2. It says we must not allow any part of this candle to close below $2. Well, thankfully that has happened, but I just thought there are tons of analysts that were pointing this out. It's just another sign of strength. XRP continues to exude strength. Here's a post from chart analyst Dom, and he wrote in part, a key takeaway here would be anyway, it's very easy for bulls to push back over $2.20. Of course, talking about XRP here. Very hard for bears to pull under $1.90. So maybe Credible Crypto is right, and we go down to about $1.60. He's the only analyst that I regularly follow that's calling for that, but not counting him out. He's got a pretty damn good track record, but take it for what it's worth. He's the only one that's calling for that. Other than that, I keep seeing price levels more in line with what Dom is discussing right here. Here's a post from Charting Guy. This is from 5:47 a.m. this morning, and he wrote, XRP 4-hour bullish divergence awaiting confirmation. And the price is about $2.06, which is pretty close to where it closed for the quarter. We'll see what happens. Reasons for optimism, though. Here's a post from chart analyst Crypto Insight UK. He says, XRP funding most similar to when price was at its bear market lows. We last saw this around 33 cents. We are now holding above $2. This, coupled with low open interest, tells me most of the short-term traders are waiting to see what happens next, but there is still a negative bias. If we get a push to the upside, we could see a short squeeze that could catalyze the next leg. The question is, when does the narrative start to change and price start this move? It says, look over my last few days of posting for my thoughts on this. Key takeaway here, like he thinks that we're getting set up for the next major leg up, and frankly, it is just a matter of time, sooner than later. And again, I keep seeing that from tons of analysts. The optimism hasn't gone away just because XRP is consolidating. No, rather, you should be thrilled XRP is consolidating in this range. I sure as hell am. That's amazing. Because it's never consolidated this high in history. Like, look at where we are. This has never happened before. I always believed it was possible. Now we know yes. The answer is yes. Here's a post from chart analyst The Great Matsby. XRP USD BT/BTC USD chart looks very bullish with monthly candles building a solid base inside the cloud. This suggests XRP will continue to outperform Bitcoin. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not a chart analyst, but even I know that. I think that's I'll just say this. Wait until the cycle's over. We'll do a post-mortem, and it's going to be really great for XRP holders and pretty bad when you compare it to Bitcoin and Ethereum. Here's a post from chart analyst Bobby A. He certainly agrees. He says XRP will continue to outperform Bitcoin and Ethereum throughout most of the year. Right. So even if Ethereum in the short term outperforms, that's fine. Markets find bottoms, and it could start blasting to the upside finally. And so then XRP would look worse on the XRP ETH pair. But then don't think XRP's not then going to have a major run to the upside. Here's another one from Bobby A. He says the arrogant and bearish ones here are the same ones who will be chasing fat green candles later this year, buying XRP above $5. Mark this post and never forget it. Okay, that is going to happen. People don't feel comfortable buying assets like XRP when they're on sale, when they're cheap, when the markets are at lows. They don't want it when it's on sale. They want to feel like they're doing the right thing. And what makes people feel like they're doing the smart thing? Buying it when everybody else is buying it, which means buying it when the price is going up dramatically. People buy green candles. It's not, and look, that's what happened. That's what happened when XRP ran to a new all-time high this year, as I predicted that it would, because it's not like it's hard to predict that. Duh. I'm just saying it's going to happen again before the cycle's over. That's my belief. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because if anything I say are right, that would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.